Hi, good afternoon. I'm Cindy Bertram, and thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. And yes, we've got a lot of good things going on in the cruise industry as always because good ship does happen, yes. Also, new ships coming out. Some are just christened, of course, which is really exciting. A new ship was just christened recently, was actually with Explore Journeys, and they are a luxury cruise line, bringing the ocean life to sea. As actually the parent company that owns them is actually the MSC Group. MSC Group is family owned, of course. They've got the container shipping company, had it for years. And then they started MSC Cruises about 30 some years ago. And they started Explore Journeys, their luxury cruise line, with their first ship, the Explorer 1, a couple years ago. And the Explorer 3 was just christened, I think, about a week or two ago. Really great, too. And they're over in Europe, of course, too. Luxury, which is great too. So that was really exciting. I'm going to write about it too. I've done research, which is great too. So that's good too. So yes. Also, another ship that was christened recently too was actually started sailing. Was actually the new Royal Caribbean ship. Okay, and what she's doing right now is she's actually sailing right now in the Mediterranean right now this summer. That is the Legend of the Seas. And she's the one that's got the new chief dog officer, Skipper. Yes. And she's so cute. I just love Michael Bailey. He's the president of Royal Caribbean, and he loves her like crazy. In fact, they came up with the idea to have a chief dog officer a couple years ago. This is the third chief dog officer I've got now. Okay, Rover, Sailor, and now Skipper. So Skipper is actually the chief dog officer in Legend Seas, which just launched about a month ago. She's sailing right now in the Mediterranean. Then she's going to be actually sailing, relocating to Florida later on this fall, which is great. And she'll be offering Western and Southern Caribbean cruises too. So that's really great too. And right now, the fun thing is, Royal Caribbean is the only cruise line that has a chief dog officer on board. Okay, they got 3 of them, right? But the fun thing is, now they're going to have a new chief dog officer in the next ship coming out next year. And Michael Bailey, the president of Royal Caribbean, has been doing posts like crazy. They're trying to figure out a name for the next chief dog officer. Okay. If you go into Facebook, you can look at his posts, which is really, really fun. But they're looking for a new name to launch, new name for the new chief dog officer coming out next year, which is really fun too. So I'm trying to come up with names myself. I haven't come up with a good name yet, but I'm going to, come up with that too. I mean, we already got Sailor, Skipper, Rover, so you can't do those names. But as mentioned, Royal Caribbean new ship coming out next year is going to have another chief dog officer, and they're right now looking for a new name for the dog. So keep it in mind. And of course, these are golden retrievers, which are really cute too. So if you think of anything, you just look for Royal Caribbean. Maybe check out Michael Bailey's post on Facebook because they're looking for a name to use for their next chief dog officer next year on the new ship. Really good too. So how fun. And what a great job for a dog, right? To be a chief dog officer where you're actually just creating those fun things for people on board the ship. Happiness, engage with their officers and staff members too, besides the sailing on board, because it's really wonderful too. So how fun. So yes, we've got great ships coming out too. It's great too. So just really fun things too. So yes, really great too. So keep in mind and feel free to brainstorm and maybe look at posts by Royal Caribbean because they are looking for a new name for the chief dog officer. How fun, right? Something else that just came up too is also we've got Crown Cruise Line. They're doing is they're expanding, of course. What they're doing is they're continuing with their Excel class ships right now, and the Carnival Festival will be debuting in April next year. Also, the Carnival Tropical in 2028. And the festival is going to be deploying from Port Canaveral, Florida, which is about an hour outside of Orlando. And the Tropical is going to be home ported in Galveston, Texas. And their sister ships include the Mardi Gras, the Carnival Celebration, and also the Carnival Jubilee. And they're great ships. I had a chance to be on that Mardi Gras christening, which is great too. That was a couple years ago. And as a sister ship of these new Excel class ships too, but also what was really fun too when it was the christening of the Mardi Gras, they actually had a special person christen the ship. Remember, but years ago, Cuddle used to have the really well person, Kathleen Gifford, like their, oh, what would you call her? Just like their ambassador. But anyway, she actually christened the very first Mardi Gras, okay? And that's when they did their advertisements too. And she was saying a really great person, but they decided to do a couple years ago when they're developing the new Mardi Gras ship. They actually reached out to Kathy Lee Gifford, okay? The godmother of the first Mardi Gras ship. They said, Kathy, we've got a new Mardi Gras ship coming out. And we know your daughter loves to cruise. She cruised a little girl like crazy, of course, with her mom and dad. But anyway, the fun thing is they asked her to see if her daughter would be interested in becoming the godmother. And they filmed a great video. It was so fun to watch it too. They filmed a video. Kathy was supposed to be meeting with her daughter for lunch. Instead of meeting at the restaurant, she went to her daughter's house, right? Knocked on the door. Her daughter said, well, Mom, we're meeting for dinner, for lunch, right? Yeah, but let's walk in first, talk. And so she got inside with the video camera guys too. It was really fun too, because they said, okay, now I remember the Mardi Gras ship, and I was a godmother, but Carnival Cruise Line is offering our new Mardi Gras ship, and they wanted to, if you'd be be the godmother of that ship. She immediately said yes. So as the christening that ship, they took place in Florida. I was there. Amazing, because I actually was there when Kathy Lee Gifford's daughter christened the ship, the new Mardi Gras, plus Kathy Lee Gifford was there too. It was really great too. So once again, they're doing great things too. So once again, these are Edge class ships, of course, coming out. We've got the Carnival Festival coming out April next year. Also, the Tropical coming out in 2028. And what's great too is they've got going to feature, the festival is going to feature actually 3 new zones, okay? 2 zones across deck 6, 7, and 8 are going to really be a way to celebrate music with new music-themed venues and immersive experiences representing the ways which music really brings people together. Okay. Also, the first, it will be like music creation process with interactive media, lighting and sound, and then also specifically Studio 728 is going to encompass the Spark on deck 6, and this is Signature's Alchemy Bar, which is going to be enhanced by a dedicated atrium space and its own live music stage too, hosting live musical performances too. And on deck 7, the Mix Bar, I love that name, Mix Bar, right? Will be a turntable theme watering hole where patrons can actually be able to create custom cocktails and order sample libations. And it's also going to then also reprieve the Light Lion Lounge, which is not taking its cues from the music scene too. And on the festival's deck 8, of course, it's described as a brightly colored promenade connecting guests to several food and beverage venues with atmospheres, and transforms the day to night with different evolving lights and sounds too. And then they're going to have their the festival grounds coffee and bar for special Java and other festive beverages too. And then everyone's going to be extended to their Pizza Palooza, also their Rhythm and Rolls deli food trucks to grab quick snacks. And then also the third new zone across decks 16, 17, and 18 is called Sensation Point, is a new outdoor area for family fun and all ages entertainment. It's replacing Bolt, okay, which was their previous sea coaster from previous ships, and this really has expanded Carnival's Waterworks Ultra water park too, which is going to really be great too, because it's going to be the largest water park from line ever. And the zone's going to showcase half a dozen water slides, 2 separate splash pads with their own slides, also spray elements and baby-centric aquatic area too. And among the 6 new main slides will be 4 that are entirely new to the brand, including a 2-family raft varieties, Sun Soaker and Turning Tides. Love the name, Sun Soaker and Turning Tides. And also 2 dueling racing currents, as well as our mini racers, double slide, and mini twister. for guests that are as short as 3 feet. So, yeah, that's really great too. Also, there's going to be a dry treehouse adventure trail, complete with its own dry slide and netted bridges, and also more toddler areas too, which is including their air appropriate splash pad off the all ages Vista pool. And other offerings include a ropes course, a night illuminated miniature golf course, a sports court, televised sports, also jogging track arcade spaces, and also a Sensation Point is going to be open into the evening with extended park hours too, which is great too. And some other things too is they mention they're going to have different food and drink options available there too, showcasing their Sensation sips and slushies and more. Also, Big Chicken, Swirl's Ice Cream Parlor, and the Scenic Overlook a bar, which is actually ideal for sunset vistas too. And as far as accommodations, replacing the Family Harbor staterooms are 1,000 interconnecting rooms, which is almost 70% more than what they had in the first Excel class ships too. As far as kids' facilities, as once again too, the cruise line actually sails the most families on board, totaling more than 1 million children annually, right? So the festival is going to have a dedicated area, an open deck experience for the Colonel's Turtles program geared for kids ages 6 months to 2 years old. It's called their Colonel's Turtles program. It's geared to kids ages 6 months old to 2 years old. And they're going to expand their overall youth programs too. Also, to vary the ship's dining since the Mardi Gras, which is also going to be sailing from Port Canaveral, they've got their Emerald Lagasse, chief culinary officer for Carnival, and wines, food, and beverage team working on some new options too. And one will be swap out the Chibang, and then joining the ship are guest favorites including Guy's Burger Joint, Guy's Pig and Anchor Smokehouse, the Brew House, and also Big Chicken. Also, anticipated to switch will be from Chibang's Chinese and Mexican flavors on both the festival and Tropical. And that's going to be I don't know if I pronounced this correctly or not. It's called the Yoku Li. It's actually specialized in Hawaiian and Asian cuisine. Also, what they're doing too is they're going to be elevating their previous Italian offerings with the Cucina del Capitano. Will be fresh Mediterranean fare at fettuccine, Emerald's coastal seafood, and that's great too. So they're doing some different things too on board as far as cuisine too. Also, the festival is going to also feature the Spark, which is a performance venue, and a bar crafting song-inspired beverages, mixed for playful bespoke drinks, also festival grounds and coffee bar serving up the ship's specialty coffees and cocktails. And the Carnival Tropical is going to carry over many of the features of the festival too, also introducing some of its own concepts and themes too, and like the Jubilee, which also sails from the state. Tropical will also sport the Star of Texas on its bow too. So once again, the Carnival Tropical is going to sail out of Galveston, Texas. It's really great too, because once again, the Carnival Tropical, as Christine Duffy, the president, mentioned, joining our Galveston lineup is really a celebration of both our history and our future in Texas. For more than 25 years, yes, 25 years, Texas has been at the heart of Carnival's growth too. And this new Excel class ship really ensures we're continuing to deliver this wonderful experiences for our guests too. But once again, definitely think about maybe sailing out of Galveston, Texas, because there are a lot of cruise lines sailing out there too. Carnival Cruise Line's been sailing there for 25 years now. Other ships sail out of Galveston. I had a chance to actually be there about a year and a half ago. It was on the when they launched the MSC ship sailing from Galveston. They invited me. It was really great to see Galveston. I've never been before too. I've been to Texas a couple of times, but it was really, really nice. And this terminal that actually MSC Cruises built with Galveston is beautiful, amazing. But once again, it's like a little hidden treasure because once again, Galveston offers a lot of different things to do too. But it's really great because you can see beautiful things too. And It's not just one port out of many. It's really great too. Something else that has come up too is actually with Norwegian Cruise Line. What they've done is they have added more things to their actual private island, Great Stirrup Cay. Okay, and what they're doing is they have expanded what they're doing, and what they did too is they've actually they've just released some images of their water park on Great Stirrup Cay, and it opens in exactly 1 month. So right now they just did this press release actually this week, but they did release images of their water park on Great Stirrup Cay, and they just released some photographs too. So once again, with their Great Tides water park that's opening up in a month. And once again, as far as what they're going to have there too, it really shows some different spaces on their private island, which it's called their Tidal Tower, which is going to be the park's tallest water slides. The Cliffside Cove cliff jumping area, also a dynamic river, including a lit up tunnel that it will travel through too. Also, they've got their children's splash area too, which is multiple water slides and water spraying from above too. Also, they've got they showed a 6-person cabana, which shows seating with a fan overhead inside the cabana. Also, plush lounges and an umbrella in front too. And what's great too is, so like I said, Great Tides Water Park will be actually opening in another month. Their island is open, of course, too, but this is their new area too, Great Tides Water Park. And what they're doing too is they actually also shared some things as far as some other dining options. Got their barbecue joint, low tide smoke. They've got a seafood eatery, Catch on the Cay, and also a dessert venue called Tidal Treats. Desserts, Tidal Treats, isn't it great? And these will be able, once again, too, is right now Great Tide spans nearly 6 acres. And it's going to have 19 water slides, yes. The grand opening is going to be on September 4th. And this is when guests can actually experience by sailing on Norwegian Luna's 7-day cruise departing from Miami on August 29th. So once again, keep in mind, because what's great too is with NCL, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Great Stirrup Cay, they also finally built a dock right there. So now their ship's dock right there, which is great. Previously, for years, because Norwegian Cruise Line actually was the very first cruise line that had their own private outlet years ago, in the 70s. Then the cruise line started to kind of copy that. But once again, it's a very, very great way to really kind of enjoy different things too. Plus, the people there are people on board your ship too, which is great too. But once again, for years, Norwegian Cruise Line, their ships had to actually anchor off. You had to actually take tenderboats in. I've been there a couple of times. It was okay. But once again, I'm so glad they finally built a dock right there for the ships to dock at too, which is great too. Because once again, it makes it easier to get off the ship and get back on the ship too. But just, it's beautiful what they're doing too. And that's just really, really wonderful too. Something else that's really kind of fun too is we've got let's mention one that came up too. I just wrote about it, of course, with Windstar Cruises. Okay, they've been around for a long time. What they did was they just launched this past spring. They call them their quick getaways. Okay, what they're doing is they're offering shorter European cruises. Yes, which is great. And over the years, cruise lines that offered cruises and sailing Europe traditionally really been focusing on longer cruise itineraries too. But last year, in August, Windstar Cruises decided to offer short Europe cruises called Quick Getaways, and they launched their Quick Getaways this spring with their new collection, and it is 3 to 5 night European yacht voyages too, because their ships are yachts. Okay, and what's great too is as far as why, people say, why do they do that? But it makes sense because once again, these itineraries really offer a flexible way for Windsor guests to really extend their vacation with their land vacation or another quick getaway too, which is great too. So once again, it's another wonderful option too for guests if they want to do a short European cruise, then they can do a land vacation afterwards or vice versa. And they got great options too. And what they're doing is, as far as their quick getaway itineraries, they've been designed for simplicity and spontaneity too. And these really provide a great way for guests to really experience Windstar's signature yacht style experience too. And as far as these quick getaways, they take their guests to really iconic cities and tucked away ports too, which is great too. For instance, some examples, because I just wrote about it, was actually they've got one called their Quick Getaways La Dolce Beach in Italy and also France. And it's from Civitavecchia, Rome to Civitavecchia back. And they've got another one's called their it's Croatia calling from Venice to Dubrovnik on their Wind Spirit. Another guy is their it's really fun too. It's called their Yachtman's Harbors of the Rivieras, and people on the ship goes from Civitavecchia, Rome to Barcelona on the windsurf ship too. And they've got another one's called their Belgium, a sweet getaway. What they do is the journey starts from London to Belfast, back to London, and it's on Star Pride. Another one is called their Seaside Charms and Dutch Waterways, and the journey from London goes to Belfast and to Amsterdam on the Star Pride. Another one is their Quick Getaways, Timeless Maritime Powerhouses of Northern Europe. The journey goes from Amsterdam to London, and then Belfast on the Star Pride. Another one is actually their journey from London and goes to Belfast, London back to Belfast too on the Star Pride. But once again, it really gives guests an option to really explore beautiful things, shorter trips too. And the good thing is you can actually extend it by a land extension before or afterwards too, or you can actually put these two short cruises together too if you want to. What's great too is they've got fun things too on their ships. You know, you talk about where the captain drives the ship is on the bridge. Okay, usually the bridge is a very, very enclosed area. Guests like us cannot go on the bridge. Okay, one time I got a chance to do a private bridge tour, but I was there on board the ship as media. But what Windstar Cruises does is guests are welcome on the bridge. Yes. Not driving the ship, of course, but once again, they're welcome on the bridge, and that's where the captain officers really delight to share their routes, the tours, and everything else too, which is great too. So once again, this is the only cruise line I know that actually offers guests the opportunity to actually go to the bridge and see how the ship is being sailed out too, which is great too. And once again, this is kind of fun too. They've got this really great area. It's called their they've got this. It's their. What they do is when their ship is docked, okay, or anchored, they've got this area they can extend from the marina off the ship's stern, and guests can actually get this area. Okay, it's almost like a area right there, a lounge area, and once again, guests can actually have a chance to do paddleboarding, kayaking. They provide all the equipment too, which is great too. So keep in mind too, it's really great too. And once again, as far as Windstar Cruises, they've got 8 different all-suite sailing yachts, and the highest capacity would be 350 guests. And guests can really explore destinations in Europe, the Caribbean, Costa Rica, Panama Canal, Alaska, New Orleans, Canada, Japan, Asia, South Pacific, but also they sail year-round in Europe, and they're offering some very unique experiences that will start in Tahiti in 2027. And then Windstar is going to introduce a new Star Explorer in December 2026 this year. Once again, it's really about creating those experiences too. And what's great too is, like I said, it's really great as far as diverse, shorter itineraries too, because once again, sometimes people are thinking, well, it'd be good to take maybe a cruise to Europe. But in this case, with their yacht, which is great too, they're offering these shorter cruises, okay? And it's really, really considered a quick getaway too, which is great too. You can actually, the quick getaway cruise, stay longer. They've got pre and post cruise packages too, or otherwise you can actually combine 2 cruises together, which is great too. So once again, keep in mind, Windstar Cruises is offering their new quick getaways right now. okay, in Europe, which is great too. So yes, I just read about it. It's really exciting too. So yes, that's great too. And something else that's really good too is also we've got well, something that came up too. I want to share too, more just more be more transparent. But okay, getting back to river cruises. Okay, river cruises have really grown like crazy. We've got some great river cruise lines right there. But also one thing that's come up with the rivers in Europe is sometimes they got low water levels too. Okay, and I just attended. It was a great fireside chat navigating low water with Waterways, and the executives that were there kind of shared some insights too. Because once again, the Danube River has really been having a lot of low water issues too. Okay, and they just had a situation with Waterways. What they did was something came up. What they did was they didn't have to cancel their trips for their guests. Instead, they actually were able to get guests off their ships, transported to another ship. River ship too was great too. So it's really great too. Once again, the water levels are really low right now in certain rivers, including the Danube River. Okay, and like I said, just kind of depends on what's going on, because sometimes one might be too high or too low, but you have to be adaptable too. It's great too. And also, recently, different channel CEOs actually tackled their river cruising challenges, which includes the low water levels too. They talked about it because once again, December, last couple weeks, this actually came out in this week, actually, or last week. They just said last couple weeks have been challenged as far as river cruise lines as they battle water levels too. It's caused some route disruptions. Also, unfortunately, a Viking ship actually ran aground too. Okay, due to low waters. Okay, but they just mentioned different things too. The water levels on the Rhine and Danube are the worst since 2018. As mentioned, the Danube River is very low in water, but also the Rhine River is low too, and this is the worst they've ever had since 2018. Okay, and it's presented some hurdles too. But what they did too is river cruise lines, have dealt with this due to high water issues too. Once again, too is they're very careful, and once again they share some tips too. Because once again, too is as was the case with On Waterways, they ran across a situation with their one ship sailing on the Danube River, low waters. What I did was they actually had the ship dock somewhere else, got their guests off that ship onto another ship they had close by, which is great too, and they were able to actually finish their cruise. Once again, this goes back to river cruising is fantastic. Okay, once again, the issue is low waters. Okay, and we see those more on the Danube and the Rhine rivers in Europe. There are other options too as far as river cruising too. I know that some cruise lines actually offer river cruises on the Nile River and also different areas too. So keep in mind, because once again too, it's just I mean, it's not that you want to stop taking a river cruise. Just kind of think out the itineraries and the cruise lines. The river cruise lines offering that too, because once again, those two rivers are very low right now as far as the water. But get through it and move on. Don't worry about it. It's not a tragedy. So yes, they kind of power things up too. And something else, of course, too, is as mentioned, new ships coming out. The MSC Cruises World Age is coming out this December, which is great, and she'll be cruising over the Mediterranean. Okay, and also we've got let's see, another ship coming out this year would be the the Explorer Sea was just christened, of course, earlier. Her inaugural date was actually August 3rd, and she offered a 7-night Barcelona to Lisbon sailing too. And as mentioned, that ship came out, of course, too. And we got the Star Explorer, which is actually Windsor Cruises' new ship coming out this December. It has a capacity of just 224 guests. As mentioned, World Asia is going to be coming out later on this December, this fall, steering the Mediterranean first. And also we've got, let's see here. Oh, the Four Seasons yacht. Second one's coming out this year too. Some other ships coming out next year, which is great too, is we've got more Norwegian Prima class ships coming out this next year. That would include their 5th and 6th Prima class ships. And I just talked about the Carnival Festival. It's coming out this next year, 2027. Also, we've got, let's see, we've got the, next year too, we've got the Embassy World Atlantic, which is coming out next year. Should be sailing from Port Canaveral in the Caribbean. Not sure as far as when. And then we've got also later on next year, we've got the Oceania Sonata out in the summer, 2024, 2027. And also I mentioned the Carnival Tropicals coming out in 2028. And also we've got another Edge class ship coming out in 2028. And another one is going to be Viking Ocean Cruises, another ship coming out. And we've got Disney ships coming out too. Now they got the new Disney ships would be coming out 2029, 2030, 2031, which is great. And another ship coming out next year is called the Amarudi, which is actually on Waterway's new ship coming out next year in the spring. And it's going to be a sister ship to the Ama Magna, which came out in 2019. As far as the name, Amarudi is actually named after the chairman and co-founder's name. That's his name, Rudy Schreiner. He's really great too. What they did was they named the ship after him. Okay, he and his partners, co-founders, always actually started on Waterways back in 2002, and so they've been celebrating great 24 years, which is great too. But also, what they're doing too is with the Amarudi, it's going to be their second double with riverboat. It's going to be the largest river cruise in Europe too. And as mentioned, the Amarudi is being named in honor of Waterway's co-founder and chairman Rudy Schreiner, which is great. And it really has changed. They also the Ama Magna, which was actually launched in 2019. And Rudy shared more. He said the Ama Magna really changed what travelers believed was really possible on the river cruise line ship. We knew it would be the right time to revisit the concept, and with river cruising continue to grow, the time is right now. And travelers are really making that transition of ocean cruising to rivers. It's growing. A lot of different river cruise lines there too, but otherwise it's fantastic, okay? And as mentioned, when the Ama Magna really debuted in 2019, it really was a really great project that Rudy mentioned. And so once again, having the new Amarudi come out in the spring of next year is really great too. The Amarudi is going to carry 196 guests in 98 different staterooms and suites. It's going to provide a high-low ratio course too, as well as dining venues, wellness facilities too. And the public spaces are going to really be inspired from their ship's Danube River. And Schreiner is really upbringing in Austria. That's where he's from originally. He's actually grown up in Austria. So the design concept of the Amarudi really kind of blends their contemporary elegance, exceptional comfort, subtle historical references inspired by the cities and the cultures found along the Danube River. Okay. And as mentioned, the dining venues on the Amarudi are going to actually encompass their journeys restaurant. And the Chef's Table is a specialty dining restaurant, home to new Italian lunch menus, also a built-in deck club barbecue, as well as other alfresco dining opportunities. Rudy's Wine Bar will serve as a special social space inspired by Rudy's passion for wine, also their European culture. Also, included on board will be the always enhanced culinary experience, which is paired with complimentary beer, soft drinks, and more than 30 curated wines available for lunch and dinner. And also, the ship's additional place is going to really allow for more activity, which is great too. The sun deck is going to be equipped with a full-size pickleball court, dedicated wellness center, also hair and salon treatment services too, a fitness center, and also it'll be having their wellness hosts for bonus fitness classes and wellness programming too. And as mentioned, entertainment on board. They're going to be a multi-level multi-use hybrid entertainment venue, which can host film screenings, karaoke, billiards, even a jukebox, which is kind of fun too. And also, while soundproofing their quiet areas too, which is great too. And as far as sustainability, this is one thing that cruise line is really, really focusing on too. Where it's going to really, really incorporate robust sustainability features too. Okay, these include advanced stage V engines, solar panels, shore power connectivity, spread poles, also lightweight construction materials to minimize impact, improve efficiency too. And as mentioned, with on waterways and Umbrella just really reflects their confidence in the future of river cruising too, and really their commitment to innovation too. It's great too, and once again, it's really great too. As mentioned, they once the Alma set sailing on the Danube spring of 2027, they're going to operate some of Envoy's most popular itineraries from the river too. It's great to see. That's great too. How fun to have cruise line name a ship after the co-founder of Waters. Great too. So once again, the Alma is going to be coming out next spring. Keep in mind too, it's really great too. I met Rudy. He's a fantastic person. They just said great team, great people, amazing what they do too. It's really fun too. Yes, it's great too. So once again, keep in mind too. So yes. How fun, isn't it great? I love this. Also, as mentioned, new ships coming out too. Mentioned those, but also beyond that, we've got let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, besides the unnamed world-class digital embassy cruises, they've got their regional previous going to be having more ships too, which is great. And I know that something came up too is actually some good things too as far as different cruises. Oh, the Crystal Cruises. They're actually building their first new ship, which is great too. And that's coming out in I think it's coming up 2028 maybe. They're Crystal Grace. Love the name Crystal Cruises. And that's great too, because once again, a lot of good things going out in the industry too. And it's good to share good things like that too. As mentioned, I know that cruise has been dealing with, river cruise has been dealing with the issues with low waters, but once again, they can find ways to kind of navigate those too. Because once again, I know that with waterways, even with their river cruises, they haven't had to cancel anything, which is really great too. They actually were able to, like so the presentation I did about 2 weeks ago, they shared what they do too. So they have not had to cancel any of their ships sailings in the rivers. Once again, they do is they shorten things up too, especially in the Danube right now. It's very, very low waterway right now too. So it's really low waters too. So keep in mind too, because once again, it's really great they're doing too, kind of navigate that too. And as mentioned, I know that but it's really great what cruise lines are doing right now, whatever as far as navigating different things too, and new ships coming out. Another thing they're doing right now too is right now with Port Canaveral, which has been for years. I sailed up Port Canaveral years ago in the early 1990s and late 1980s. When they had one cruise that sailed there, and what they've done is right now they're in the process, they're expanding their ports in Port Canaveral, which is great too. And Port Canaveral is an hour maybe from Orlando, and it's really, really pretty. I'd love to go back there too, but I know that they're expanding their airport right there too, which is great. And as mentioned, what that came up too is with Port Galveston. It's definitely a nice place to go to too. It's easy to get to. Plus, once again, you've got different cruises that sail out of Port Galveston. And it was actually, I think last year was when the MSC moved their ship there. I was there for their opening, which is really great too. It's a really, really pretty port. And different cruise lines that actually sail out of Port Galveston. Okay. And as mentioned, what cruise lines do too is, adding more to their private outlines is really great too, because once again, it's another way to kind of really stand out. And once again, too, is that we went through the pandemic, of course, and cruising started again too. Cruise lines offer shorter cruises. What they did too was able to adapt, because what they did was a lot of them just started including sailing the private islands first, and maybe one port, which made it easier too. And as mentioned, Carnival Cruise Line just launched their new private island. They never happened before. They just launched that, which is great. And of course, with Norwegian Cruise Line expanding theirs right now, great start. Okay, by not offering their dock, which they never had, but also expanding with their river park, which is great too. Another option too. And another thing to think about too, of course, is Alaska, because Alaska cruises, they're short term, right? Cruising to Alaska usually starts end of April, 1st of May, goes through September, because that's when the cruising season is for Alaska. But taking Alaskan cruise, you can actually sail on a ship from Seattle, or you can actually go into Canada, which I've done before too, Vancouver. But they got a lot of different options now too. More there. It's really beautiful. You can do inside passage, one-way trip. Some cruise lines have different things too first, before and after the cruise, which is great too. Another area you can actually sail from too actually is Philadelphia. Yes, the cruise line actually offers some sailings out of Philadelphia, and they've been finishing up their port, but they've really been grading things too, because once again, they have a shipper to their sailing out of Philadelphia, which is great too. And it's great because during the summertime they go to Bermuda, which is beautiful. And Bermuda actually has those pink beaches. Yes, they're actually pink beaches. Yes, pink sand. Yes, real sand. I loved it. It was great to go there too. So I loved it. It was really great too to do that too. And so we have options out there too, because people say, okay, what's the best cruise to go on? Well, it goes back to what are you looking for? Where do you want to go? What do you want to experience? As far as ships, we've got big ships, plus you've got smaller ships, different options. For instance, if you wanted to do a short European cruise, you can do that now on Windstar Cruises, okay? And different destinations you go to too. Also, you've got some cruise lines that have special built ships go to the polar areas too. They'll sell it pretty fast too. But once again, so many options out there too, which is really great too. So keep in mind, because once again, it's just great, different options, okay? And just good to share what they're doing too. And another ship that a cruise line actually launched last year officially on the 5 Great Lake cruises was actually Victory Cruise Lines. I was on board their first christening ship back end of April last year. It was really great, the Victory one. And I flew to Toronto, and then what they do is they put you up at a hotel first. Okay, and then we boarded the ship, the christening ship. We sailed out, but went through the 5 Great Lakes. It was really great, and the ship docks right at Navy Pier in Chicago. I live outside Chicago, so it was only like an hour away. It was really great too. I've been there a couple times to see different ships too. But with their with Victory Cruise Lines, they are smaller ships. They have 2 ships right now, Victory 1, Victory 2, and they go to great places that are really on the 5 Great Lakes. A great example was last year I got a chance to go to, well, we actually got a chance to eat Niagara Falls. I've never been there too. Beautiful. Also went to different places. One was going to the Rock Hall of Fame, because once again with Victory Cruise Lines, they offer guests a free shore excursion every place you go to, which is great. Also went to Mackinac Island, and that is an island where they don't have any babies there too. Okay? Yes, it was great. So keep it in mind, because once again, it's Victory Cruise Lines. They have 5 Great cruises right now. Those will be ending in the fall, because then the water gets too cold, but it's really great to think about that too.
Yep, I hear that not only Virgin, but some of these other cruises are going adults only. So I see that Oceania earlier this year became an
Yes,
adults
they
only
did.
line and everything like that. So it's not just Virgin and all in that space. And even I saw that actually it looks like Carnival Cruise Lines made one of their 2027 cruises exclusively for adults and everything like
Right.
that. There are a number of these cruises that are definitely becoming less kid friendly. In some cases, they're even taking out some of the kid activities that they used to have and everything like that. And I was actually seeing earlier today that there are some cruises that are taking the adult theme to the far extreme of the adult cruises. They're definitely having some rules and all in that space, but they are
Right.
very adult. I'll just leave it that way. They're very adult and in that space, but they might have like some parties that are definitely generated toward couples that are maybe in the early ages of their kind of life and everything like that, or even some adult ones, but they definitely look like they are catering toward the very adult themes. And there's something called Bliss Cruises that does some cruises in various cruise lines and all along those lines. So it looks like there are some of these cruises that are definitely not wanting to be kid friendly. I'll just put it that way.
Well, no, a good example too, in fact, I found this article, okay? I was working in my mom's agency. I booked a lot of group cruises too. In fact, one was actually a group of teachers, right? And one thing they could do in the summertime, they went to Alaska. They loved it, okay? And one time I got them booked to do it was during their spring break, right? And they got them with a ship. With this ship was a long time ago. This is back in 1989, so a long time ago. Back in 1989, normally it was like an Easter sailing during Easter week, because that's when the teachers were off from school. Normally, the cruise line had informed me that there would only be maybe 150 students on that ship sailing, but instead they had over 700 students on that ship.
Wow.
And this ship was small, maybe about 2,500 guests on board, but to have 700 students on board the ship, it got a little crazy, okay? But thank goodness, the group on board had were teachers. They knew how to adapt to students, and they really tried to calm them down. Same problems too, but the funniest too is, like, sometimes these teens would actually throw their deck chairs overboard,
Oh, wow.
and sometimes they would be served alcohol, which they weren't supposed to be doing too, food fights, that kind of stuff. But I wrote an article, okay, which is published by Television Magazine,
Hmm?
and my article was called "Students on Ships." Right here.
Yeah.
Does it always have to mean SOS?
Yeah. Could mean
So
something.
I found the article, right? So I did was I sent off with the execs at First Voice. I said, by the way, I wrote this article back in 1989. Maybe that's Richard Branson got the idea to start Virgin Voyages, okay?
Wow. Hey, and by the way,
It was crazy.
It's just totally. It's not just in the U.S. as well, because I also saw, and I was looking up stuff on Wikipedia and on other places that British-based Ambassador Cruise Lines announced that starting in 2027, 100% of its global itineraries will become adults only as well. And Mariella
Right.
Cruises is ripping out its kid zone. So Mariella Cruises is permanently converting the Mariella Discovery 2 into adults only ship ahead of the winter 2027
Right.
season. The line is completely tearing out all youth play areas and kids clubs to build hidden speakeasies, high-tech escape rooms, and private karaoke lounges. And like I said, it looks like
Right.
some of the mainstream lines are testing the adults only water as well, because Carnival is expanding their sea adult cruises. So it's
Right. Right.
Carnival Cruise Lines has rapidly expanded its adults only sea program voyages into
Yes.
2026 and 2027. These high energy 18 plus and 21 plus limited edition events feature a heavy focus on the casino, larger bingo prizes, and extra slot machines and late night parties. And then Carnival
Right.
has Jubilee speculation in late July of this year. Carnival shocked passengers by abruptly canceling 9 scheduled Jubilee cruises for late 2027. Industry experts speculate these dates will be re-released as exclusive only charters to directly compete with Virgin Voyages. So it looks like Carnival is getting some competition and all in that space. And apparently, if you bring the kids, you might face some consequences, because they say for Carnival, there's a $500 curfew fine for adults who do bring children on standard multi-generational ships. Carnival has begun strictly enforcing its 1 a.m. minor curfew. So that
Okay. Yeah.
at 1 o'clock, but parents on unsupervised minors out past the curfew face a $500 fine and possibly even a lifetime ban if they do repeat violations. So this
Right.
is something that came out of cruise news and everything like that. So it does look like there are a number of these cruises that are trying to compete with Virgin in the sense of being for
Right.
the adults only.
Right. Right. But the thing is, how funny that I found the article that I wrote how many years ago?
So
SOS.
89, so that's more than 40 years ago and everything like that, because 89, 2029 will be 40 years from that time. So we're talking about,
But how
that's
funny, I found my article.
37 years. Yeah, 37 years ago.
Yeah.
You
How
found
funny
the
you
article.
go.
Wow.
That was funny. I found the article. That's why I sent off to one of the guys at Virgin Voyages. Okay, I had to get a kick out of that. And I said, by the way, I think Richard Branson stole my idea. That's where I got my idea, right? Susan Ships, SOS.
SOS. He stole your idea. Well, we got some of
Yeah,
those old commercials, like one for Virgin Voyages, a newer one, not the one that we usually
yeah.
play, and everything like that. And of course, we got the little short commercial. Speaking of Richard Branson, with him playing chess and all along those lines. And we
Right,
got
right, right.
the
Also,
one
keep
with
in
the
mind, the president of Royal Caribbean, Michael Bailey, is picking people's brains to come up with a name for the new chief dog officer. He's posting like
yeah,
crazy on Facebook, and I can't come up with a dang good name. Darn it!
I know, because the only thing I can think of is stereotypical names. Because I know that, like, if there was a Dalmatian, there's names like Spot, and of course there's names like Lassie and stuff like that. But they're standard names, and all in that space. Because actually, Indy would be a good name, because that was the name of my brother's dogs that unfortunately he had to put down earlier today
Yeah.
because he was having some serious illnesses and
Oh
everything like
yeah.
that. But the other dog that is his, that Malik cat, that's my brother has, is Walter. But Walter's such a common name. But Enzi
Yeah.
isn't common and everything like that. So
I
there
know.
might be some names that people can think about and everything like that. So
I know. My puppy niece name is Zoe, but I don't know.
yeah, Zoe
I
might
call it
be.
Miss Zoe.
Yeah, yeah. I know Malik could be missing Enzi, but I'm trying to think of a name that would be unique. Cause, but I mean, a lot of the names that
Right.
they've already named are very much names that are common. Like Rover is a very common dog name, and
Yes.
Killer is a common dog, well, a common name for something that would be ocean base and everything like that. And Skipper, of course, we think about Skipper like from the Love Boat and everything like that.
Yes. And sailor, of course, because you
Yeah,
sail, right?
right, 'cause you sail. So I'm trying to think of something. Maybe pirate.
Oh. Hmm. But she'd be a good pirate,
A good pirate,
Matey.
right? Yeah.
What about Matey?
Matey, that could be good.
Oh, golly. I gotta send some stuff off. He's been posting stuff like crazy, and I thought, oh my God, I gotta get my name.
Yeah. So you
That'd be
can
good.
it's pirate and Matey. I like those two names.
Yeah. Can't hurt. Can't hurt. I love that.
Yeah. And
That's
since we
great.
named one of them a common name, and it depends on the color, but she was a character on, well, actually, there's two characters. I assume most of these dogs have been man and everything like that, but they get a girl dog and everything like that. Ginger or Marianne could be good names. Those are both from the Love
True.
Boat as
True, true,
well.
true. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Or even Gopher, because Gopher was a character that I think is, Isaac played, or Isaac, but Gopher was a character
Yeah.
that was on the Love
Right.
Boat as well. So those are just some
And
names
I
that,
met Gopher. I met Gopher.
yeah,
I met Doc.
yeah,
I met them.
yeah.
A christening event they did. They were on board too, and also, of course, had met Gavin Cloud several times. Great person.
So those could be good names.
No, I can't steal those names, but I think I like Matey and Pirate. That's good too. You know,
I
it
like
can't
maybe,
hurt. No.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me get these
Yeah.
commercials out, including one for Virgin, and get us on out.
Yeah.
Because
That's good.
give us credit to your own. Good ship happens, and all along the
Yes.
cool. Yeah. And just slowing down. As we go on. Hold on. Should do it the other way too. Yeah, being slow. Circulate. It is being slow, so I might have to do it the other way. So, oh no, don't go anywhere.
Sea views for days. Runs I'm actually excited to go on. And breakfast mojitos because it's tradition on vacation, right? Oh, and when I tell you the Virgin Voyages food is absolutely unreal, and it's all included, it almost feels too good to be true. Cheers to that, right? This has been truly amazing, but next time, you really need to be here.
Sir Richard Branson playing chess this afternoon. It was on the lineup. You had the opportunity to challenge him in a game of chess. I got to watch him play against some of the other sailors, and what was rad was everyone was just hanging out in the meantime, whether in the hot tub, like we have everyone over here, or playing pickleball, which I'm about to go do again. But it was an awesome afternoon of watching him play. He loves that game.